Greetings. And so, I don't know if I'm going to release this, but I'm just saying that there's a, preliminary for this video. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but today is the first. The solar flare coming, so they say, heading straight for Earth. Level 3, level 4. I don't know what's the worst level. I think it's 5. So it's pretty bad. And yeah, possibilities. It might wipe us electronics out. We don't know. If that happens, oh my God. It's a disruption of everything we know. But anyway, no fret, no worries. Am I 2 more days of me being here, and the last day is named a full day. It's like I gotta take a flight. So what am I gonna talk about? I don't know. It's a beautiful place. I don't know why I haven't come back here in 14 years. You know, I was thinking, discover something else, go somewhere else. But you know what? I'm not going anywhere else. I'm just admitting right here, right now, that a couple feet up the place, I have no internet when I do that. But it's in my element. I get the downloads. I don't get distracted. And I don't know if it's the earth energy or I'm in my full element, but the things appear. Magic appears. You know, and a lot of these transmissions I make is from the downloads of being in that element area. And I call it my element area because I realize on that beach, it's not where you are, it's how you are. And so, if I'm happy and everything around is in perfection, what I like, I don't like quarrels and noise and disruption. I can ignore it, but I think that amplifies the problem. Because, as I've been saying, ignore ants, hive minds, ignorance. It's just you break down the word, and ignorance is ignore and being a hive mind. So a bunch of hive minds have ignored reality, and that doesn't work. I'm not here to say stop doing it. I'm here to tell you I'm not there anymore. It's a waste of time trying to appeal to the hive minds in their ignorance. Is not, it doesn't, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I see humanity as a bunch of confusion. And to say that, oh, give them time, they'll wake up, that's going back 15 years, you know, because I saw certain things and I had to clarify certain things. And it's not a guess or theory anymore. It's a knowing. And expressing what I know at this point is we live behind a veil. Nobody sees anything. Nobody hears anything. Everybody's in the ego mind of going, oh, I know. You know, it's like, oh, you just found out. You know, it's like, yeah, you could find out one page, but then you don't know another page. So, did you know the whole book? No, you didn't know the whole book. So, basically, what I'm saying is that you're only in your element, in your power, in your knowing, if you are confident that you know. And that's what makes us remember that we were once parts of God. And I say parts because we're fragments. and we're not in an individual state. When you become one again, it's like forget this. It's like you become whole, and you can't remember what you're not focused on. You're only going to know or focus on or remember what you're focused on. So I started this mission 14, 15 years ago to say, Wagwan, what is happening? Father, what's happening? And it could be my own conscious answering me, but basically it says, what do you think you are here for? And we're going back to that and making third dimensional sense to tell anybody, an expression of that is, to me, I'm responsible for the world I am seeing. And you can interpret that any way you want. It's not for me, because it's not for my delivery, it's for your receivership, right? So I could say left and you could see right and whatever. I'm not going to explain it in 3D terms. It's like, it's left to your interpretation. So, it is what it is. That's a treasure for this beach. I haven't seen a horse until today, but I know they exist around here. But across the canal today there was one sailboat coming in. I haven't seen anything except for the first 2 days I was here. A Chiquita ship taking a couple containers. I've expressed that already, but not that you see it. Who cares? But they had a strike here. Apparently, about the time I came in, May the 7th, and all the banana workers are on strike. But I see it as a good thing. I don't see anything as negative. Because what do bananas do? You poison the soil. You plant this inexpensive stock that is exported for pennies on the dollar to a foreign nation. What does this nation get out of it? Okay, so I take the plus. They plowed the soil. They've set up their factories. They've set up the canals or the pathways and the lights and for the ships to come in. And so the whole infrastructure is done. So now, bye. As far as I'm concerned, that Chiquita is the worst poison in the world. So I asked AI, what would you plant? And it makes sense. You never hear of anybody planting jackfruit, which you can look it up if you don't know what it is, but high in protein. It's a flavor that made juicy fruit chewing gum. That's one aspect to look at. It's an edible fruit, whether ripe or green. It can be processed, it can be eaten. It's very full of protein. The seeds are very high in protein. In fact, you could dehydrate the seeds and grind them up and make a protein powder out of it, which is for serious protein. But it's a good food. And you can take that jackfruit and cook it like seasoned pork. I think they call it a meat dish, which is stew pork, and it tastes just like it. It's just the same seasoning, but you don't use the pork. You use jackfruit. And what it was saying was plant beans or pigeon peas, because the pigeon peas, growing it would heal the soil and put the soil back up to high grade richness, and then wait for the jackfruit to grow. which, I know it would take a couple of years, but they're pretty, I don't think more than 3 to 5 years, but I'd have to research that. But it makes sense. Like, why not feed a country rather than enslave a population and export for nothing on the dollar for employment of, I could go into it, fiat money or printed money to feed a population that doesn't see you or hear you or care about you. It's like, I see the world changing. These are the aspects of what I'm talking about. Everybody has to empower themselves, right? And I could go further with the Panama getting off the US dollar and going to their own currency. And then, it's, in 15 years, 14 years since I've been here, I see everybody better off than they were 14 years ago. And when I say better off, I see more cars, I see the houses more fixed up, I see less poverty. I haven't seen extreme poverty since I've been here. There was extreme poverty. People look hungry, and they always had the handout. I don't see that anymore. I never thought about that, but adding that to it, and so when I see a more diverse food, a protein-enriched food, it's a win-win, right? So okay, what would Panama lose? A couple of fiat dollars? Screw that. We know it's fiat. Well, I know it's fiat. From a politician's point of view, they might need the income, but they don't need the income, right? And that's why I got so pissed off when Trump said he's going to take back the canal. It's like, fucking Indian giver. Them blaming China for occupying the canal. It's all bullshit. But you know that. It's all bullshit. And I could get into other aspects of it. It doesn't make sense. So anyway, I'm here giving a little exposure. Boca Del Drago, Boca del Toro. It's a couple kilometers away from. You see that red? I don't know if you can see it, but the tip of the peninsula there. If you took a boat from here, 15 horsepower boat, canoe. This is what took me it took me 3 hours to get to where I could dock in Costa Rica, which wasn't the border. It was a couple miles past the border. So that's how long it would take. And in between here, on that piece of land, at some point there's no houses, and you get to a river where there's a shoal, and that's where I collapsed the canoe that I was in, and is when I understood what miracles are, because there was no boats, none at all. There's no boats, none, right? And this is how it was 14 years ago, 2012, when my canoe collapsed or turned over and spilled everything, and I was in the middle of the ocean. And that's when I knew miracles were real. But I thought it was a miracle at the time, but I didn't realize what it really was. That's another chapter. So anybody seeing this, just understand that that failure changed my life. And then I spent a long time figuring out what is happening. Over and out, and have a good one. Let's hope. You mean I wasn't recording all this time? Or I was?